What if you didn't have to endlessly chase money? Like, what if it was just something you attracted naturally? I know, it sounds a bit wild. But think about all that energy you spend stressing over bills, grinding through overtime, and just constantly worrying about the future. For most of us, it's this exhausting cycle, right? It leaves you feeling totally stuck. But here's the thing. What if the roadblock isn't your job? What if it's not the economy? What if true wealth doesn't actually begin in your bank account, but literally starts in the architecture of your mind? Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the architecture of effortless wealth. And look, we're not just talking about wishing for a bigger bank balance here. We're going to break down the actual psychological framework you need to reprogram your mind and start attracting money effortlessly every single day. If you've ever felt like you're just spinning your wheels financially, running on a treadmill that keeps getting faster while you stay in the exact same spot, well, this is absolutely the paradigm shift you need. So here's our roadmap for today. We'll start off with the scarcity mindset trap, then move right into visualizing your financial future. From there, we'll cover reprogramming your inner voice, look at where action meets to attraction, and finally, wrap it all up with a practical daily wealth routine. Let's get right into it. Starting with Section 1, the scarcity mindset trap. To really understand why so many people stay broke, even when they're working incredibly hard, we've got to take a look at our earliest childhood programming. Since we were kids, society basically wires us for scarcity. We get bombarded with phrases like, money doesn't grow on trees, or my personal favorite, you have to suffer to succeed. And these aren't just innocent little sayings. They literally build invisible mental prison walls that lock us into pure survival mode. But the people who manage to break free, they operate on a completely different frequency. They don't see money as this scarce, finite thing. They see it as energy. They look out and see a world just overflowing with abundance and opportunity. And the second you can shift from scarcity to abundance, your reality really has no choice but to follow. Now, this shift is absolutely crucial because of a really profound psychological chain reaction. It goes like this. Your thoughts instantly shape your emotions. Those emotions then dictate your actions, and your actions are what actually forge your reality. Think about this mechanism in your brain called the reticular activating system, or the RAS. It acts basically like a heat-seeking missile for whatever you focus on. So if your foundational thought is, I'm broke, your RAS actively goes out hunting for evidence to prove you right, completely filtering out any lucrative opportunities along the way. You are literally manifesting your own financial roadblocks just based on your core beliefs. To change your bank account, you really have to reprogram that internal tracking system first. Which brings us to Section 2. Visualizing your financial future. Okay, so this is a scientifically backed practice used by elite athletes, top-tier entrepreneurs, you name it. Why? Well, neurologically speaking, your brain actually cannot fully distinguish a vividly imagined event from reality. Crazy, right? But it's true. When you repeatedly visualize success, confidence, and abundance, you aren't just daydreaming. You're actively firing and wiring entirely new neural pathways. It's a concept known as neuroplasticity. You're literally upgrading your brain's hardware so it can recognize, expect, and ultimately achieve that exact success in the real physical world. Pretty much every highly successful person you can think of visualizes their victory way before it ever actually happens. And the incredible thing here is just how accessible this tool is. Seriously, it demands just 2 minutes of your morning. All you have to do is close your eyes and fully immerse yourself in your dream lifestyle. But listen, here is the absolute secret sauce to making this work. Just visualizing the money or the fancy house isn't enough. You have to deeply feel it. You need to feel the relief of financial freedom, that unshakable confidence of success, the absolute joy of providing for your family. Your brain responds so intensely to the emotional signature of that future reality, and that's what effectively draws it closer to you. Let's move on to Section 3, reprogramming your inner voice. Look, your internal dialogue basically acts as the master command center for your entire life. Yet we are constantly letting these really toxic commands slip in without even a second thought. Things like, I can't do this, I'm just unlucky, I never succeed, or I'll always be broke. Well, your brain is an incredibly loyal servant. It doesn't judge these statements to figure out if they're good or bad for you. It just obeys. So if you declare that you never succeed, your subconscious mind immediately goes to work, subtly sabotaging your actual efforts to ensure that limiting belief stays your reality. To break out of this destructive cycle, you've got to deliberately overwrite that bad code with positive affirmations. You need to start telling yourself things like, money flows to me easily, I attract opportunities, I deserve success, and I am becoming financially free. Now let's be totally real for a second. Standing in front of your bathroom mirror declaring your immense wealth might feel a little ridiculous at first. You might feel totally silly, but you have to push past that awkwardness. Repetition creates belief, and belief drives behavior. You're essentially issuing brand new orders to your brain, commanding it to seek out a totally new reality for you. And over time, that awkwardness totally fades right into absolute confidence.
All right, section 4, action meets true attraction.
This right here is where we take the somewhat esoteric concept of the law of attraction and we ground it firmly into pragmatic, everyday reality. Let's be brutally honest. Manifestation is not magic. You cannot just sit on your couch, binge watch your favorite shows, do absolutely nothing, and expect $1 million to just drop through your ceiling. That's not how it works. True manifestation happens at the exact intersection where a reprogrammed mindset collides with deliberate physical action. Real attraction requires actual movement. Because when you finally wire your brain for abundance, your physical behavior just naturally transforms. Once you're armed with this new, unshakable belief in yourself, you actually start taking calculated risks. You suddenly spot these incredibly lucrative opportunities that were literally sitting right in front of you the whole time, but your old scarcity mindset kept you totally blind to them. Your posture changes, your discipline skyrockets, and your energy becomes incredibly magnetic. The universe doesn't respond to wishful thinking, you guys. It responds to people who move through the world with absolute certainty. And that brings us to our final part, section 5, the daily wealth routine. We've explored all the psychological theory, so now here is your highly actionable 5-step blueprint that you can put into practice today. Step 1, anchor yourself with morning gratitude to instantly zap those feelings of scarcity. Step 2, visualize your dream life for just 2 minutes and really feel the reality of it deep in your bones. Step 3, command your brain with those daily positive affirmations. Step 4, fiercely protect your energy. Seriously, cut out the negativity and the toxic influences that are constantly draining you. And step 5, this is the most crucial one of all. Take one deliberate physical action every single day toward your goals. It's the consistency here that creates massive, undeniable transformation. So to summarize this entire massive paradigm shift we've talked about today, wealth is not just some physical currency sitting in a bank vault somewhere. It's actually a deeply emotional, psychological, and energetic ecosystem. When you can align your internal mindset with your external actions across all 4 of these levels, emotional, psychological, energetic, and physical, the game completely changes for you. You finally step off that exhausting treadmill of endlessly chasing success, and instead, you become the magnet. Success actually begins chasing you. Never, ever forget that your current reality is merely your starting point. It is absolutely not your final destination. The very second you decide to change your thoughts, you are actively rewriting your future. So the choice really is yours. Are you going to keep your future self waiting in a constant state of scarcity? Or are you going to take that first step right now, today, and begin building your own architecture of effortless wealth?